I'm trying to keep it sexy today. The fragrance that I have on deck is a hybrid. Duo done put two fragrances together that I think are gonna be a hit. And usually I'm a little bit reluctant on the hybrids, and I get proven wrong because the hybrids tend to be really fun and creative. But usually I go in questionable. This one I'm going in full positive because it's a hybrid of Parfums de Layton and Thierry Mugler's A-Man Pure Malt. That's why I got the ambiance light on deck, because if this joint sucks with these two hitters inside, I'm gonna blow they spot up. Let's roll my music so we can check out this concoction that sounds glorious.
You sexy motherfucker. Cubaknow, Cubaknow. We're all alone. From the south side, in case you cared. Out of all your friends, I want to be Cuba.
Blessed morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. This is your boy, C to the U to the B to the A. I'm excited. This is a proper choice that I got. I like to see what they concoct with these hybrids and tribrid fragrances. It's just fun and playful. I don't think this is the fact of art of perfumery or whatever. I think this is more lines of how an adult can just be a big ass kid in combining two different fragrances that have no business being in the same space, but then again do. Cause we're not gonna sit here and be like, yo, Pure Malt is a cheapie and that shit was trash. We not doing that. Pure Malt is fire, and let's be clear. Although I have the clone of the joint, I desperately want the bottle back. My bottle's spoiled. It went to caca. So if I can get one at a decent price, I'm gonna get mine back. It's just my brain can't justify paying $200 or $100+ for something that you could have gotten at Century 21 for like $29.99. And then when you're gonna roll the dice and just pull out Layton and combining these two fragrances, which again, Thierry Mugler's petroleum vibes is very particular and should not be mixed with anything else, because I think it was just perfect the way it is. But if you just throw that little curveball of Layton in there, with like that sweet lavender apple-ish kind of vibe, what type of energy you gonna be giving off? And the fragrance that Duo concocted, again with the names, Killer Royal Chariot's Instinct. Okay. Duo's by far got the worst names in the game. I mean, the names are just, I mean, it's Cliff's Notes. It's like 14 like just, whatever. I haven't smelled this fragrance yet. So again, A-Man Pure Malt, Parfums de Layton in one bottle. I don't know what to expect from this joint other than greatness. If it's not great, I'm gonna have a problem. That's a strong spray. Okay, no air in the line. Let's see what is what. Usually with these Duo ones, I like to give them a little time to macerate, but this is first impressions, fresh out of the mailbox. We're gonna do what it does. That's not what I expected at all. Wow, there's some oudi grit in here, which, I don't recall like, oh, okay, well that's settling. But there was definitely an oudi grit opening there that was very like, a little bit dense and wet. That crisp apple and lavender is coming in. That subliminal Thierry Mugler DNA, that violet leaf, that petroleum kind of vibe is also there coming up, creeping really quickly up top. Very interesting. Wow, it's a little bit more niche forward than I anticipated. I thought it would be a little bit more on the mass appeal space, but it's quite like niche and kind of complex here. Also quite like ambery. Lavender, violet leaf. The sweetness is coming up. There's nothing linear about this fragrance. This has to go on skin because it's very confusing on paper, but not at all what I expected. I thought it was gonna be on that mass appeal route, just straight up Parfums de Layton on top with a little bit of the booziness of Thierry Mugler's A-Man Pure Malt. That's where my brain was going with it. And clearly I'm wrong on paper, but let's see on skin, because this came off a little bit unusual. It comes off agarwoody, wet, very nichey. The oud here feels actually like good quality, like very, you know, fancy oud, a minute amount of funk. I just don't know how it plays with these two fragrances. It smells good, but I'm not getting, okay, I'm getting more now, but on that opening, you're not getting either, to be honest. So very quickly, you start to get Layton. Lavender, apple, violet leaf. There's a fresh sweetness component in there that I can't quite pick up. It feels like it's a lavender blend with something else. There's like a crisp smoke in here and a very subtle rum note. Subtle whiskey kind of note. Like more like barley, like a peaty whiskey. Ooh, the violet leaf starts to really pop on that midsection. It really is potent, actually. Wow, this is actually quite complex, very mature. Again, I perceived it to be more on that mass appeal fuckboyish, I'm kind of digging this shit, let's go get pussy. No, it's more complicated, more dense, more wood forward, with elements of both fragrances, but I don't know if I can consider this a full-blown hybrid. This feels like more so something on a original inspiration kind of vibe, because anybody who smells this, if they didn't know that it was Parfums de Marly Layton mixed with A-Man Pure Malt, they would just consider it something on its own. Let me look up the notes. All right, so the notes are listed as fruity notes, apple, lavender, geranium, violet, bergamot, orange, malt whiskey, jasmine patchouli, pepper, gaiac wood. Gaiac wood is super present throughout. Coffee, cedarwood, peat, vanilla, sandalwood, cardamom, amber, and musk. I'm gonna tell you what pops out. I don't know, fruity notes, kind of. That sweet lavender element that I'm getting, it's more of the apple and lavender from Parfums de Marly that I'm picking up. Violet, very present. Gaiac wood is the beast in here. So it's gaiac wood that's popping off, followed by that peaty whiskey. Those two should have been combined together. It's a peat whiskey. Apple, lavender, cedar, sandalwood, and a little bit of the creamy vanilla vibe. This is on a space all on its own. I like the fragrance, but it doesn't blow me away. The reason why it doesn't blow me away is because I had a preconceived notion of what it was going to be in my brain. I actually wanted this to be a little bit more mass appeal fuckboyish, but this feels a little bit too snobby for me. It feels a little bit too refined and elegant. It feels a little bit too niche snob forward. That's not what I was looking for in this fragrance. I wanted more fuckboyness. I wanted more mass appeal. I wanted more playful, Layton type vibe with more booze. That's what I wanted out of this fragrance. And this feels like it's trying to be too elegant and refined and trying to use big vocabulary words and you're all edumacated and whatnot. So it's not what I wanted. Is it a good fragrance? Yes, but it's very snobby and stuck up. I'm not chilling with you. We're not in this circle. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this like a 6.3 and only half a balls, bro. Trying to be all sedity and shit. That gaiac wood is not letting up. It is just letting you know I'm here and not going anywhere. It is potent. So if you like that gaiac wood element with slight Parfums de Marly DNA and slight Thierry Mugler Pure Malt booziness with a heavier violet, this might be something for you. Shout out to Duo for sponsoring today's video. I'll put a link in the description. Let me know what you guys think of that combination. You probably join me on the same thought process. Like, I want it to be a little bit more fun, playful, sexy. I don't want to be all niche, snobby, and bullshit. Come on. Love y'all mother suckers from the heart, and I'll see y'all snitches next time. You know who it is, biggest in the game. I need a drink though. Smooches.
What's fresh? Who's best? One of them's gonna pass the test. For the fly gun holder, money folder, molar roller, start tag when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would